Okay. Well, when we look at traffic, right? What are we talking about? We're talking about real eyeballs viewing what is being presented, right? So if you have an ad, you want to see real people taking a look at what it is that you're offering. Okay, and so we know that when it comes to traffic, it's something that you have to have. It's a must. Like you can't have a business and don't have traffic, right? Like, can you imagine you open up a restaurant, right? And no one is coming into your restaurant. Why? What could be a possible reason? And for a lot of people, it's because they don't advertise, they don't promote. Excuse me, they don't promote their restaurant, right? How do people know that you have a restaurant? You know what I mean? You have to share, you have to tell people about it. And so that's what we're talking about when we're saying traffic. We need a traffic, we need people, visitors to come in and take a look at what it is that we have to offer. It doesn't guarantee that they'll buy, but the more people you have coming, it's a greater the probability that they will buy something from you, right? And so when we talk about on passive and talking about having traffic and on passive becoming the traffic, it's based upon numbers, right? And Andy, I know you love numbers, right? So it's based upon numbers. It's based upon the amount of customers that on passive will have over the years. We're not saying overnight, but over time, we're going to have so many customers upon customers upon customers, millions upon millions of customers coming because we're going to have so much to offer. It's not just one product. It's not just O Connect. It's not just O Tracker. It's a long list of products, and that list will continue to grow over time. So as you have all these people coming in, and they're now customers of OnPassive, guess what? OnPassive now can be that traffic to many other businesses. When we think of Facebook as an example, how does Facebook make their money? It's based upon their database. It's based upon all the customers, whether active or inactive, but it's their sheer number, the sheer size of people that they have, real eyeballs that they can now go to or have companies come into them saying, hey, we want to promote this product to your database, right? So imagine OnPassive having 100 million, just to throw a number out there, 100 million customers. Imagine OnPassive have 1 billion customers. We don't know what the number is going to be, but based upon our model, based upon all that we have to offer and will offer, it's going to be a massive number, right? And so that massive number of a database or people, right? Now you can offer whatever product, as long as it's legitimate and all of that stuff, right? Now we become the traffic to other businesses. And that now generates revenue for OnPassive, which OnPassive will share with us, right? So it's a brilliant plan, and that's just one part of it. It's not it's not the plan. It's not the only thing, but certainly it's going to be a byproduct based upon what we have to offer and the sheer size that will grow over time.
That was powerful. Thank you so much, Michael. So Jeffrey, did that sound interesting?
Well, absolutely. And I agree with Michael. I mean, his opening statement was, you got to have traffic. And without traffic, where are you going to be? Nowhere. And when you talk about what OnPassive is doing, I mean, he laid it out pretty succinctly there. The bottom line is that we are going after millions and millions and millions. And when he talks about us becoming the traffic, he's saying that we're going to have a base, in my opinion, especially, that sooner or later of, hundreds of millions, if not 1 billion people. And with that kind of a base, we become the traffic, exactly like he was saying. And when you have that kind of a base and every one of us have our own sites and we're all pushing things, oh my goodness. And when you think about what OnPassive is going to be doing for us, for the traffic, I mean, how many ways are there to get it? Hundreds, tons, right? I mean, influencers, backlinks, advertising, email. OnPassive is going to do it all for us, and we're going to be able to get that through the subscriptions. So, yeah, sit back, hang on tight, because when they start doing this, it's just going to build and build and draw people in and draw people in and draw people in, and we will become the traffic sometime here in the future.
All right, thank you. So, Andy, I understand that you're a business person. So, would it be like, if I'm getting Jeffrey and Michael well, would it be like with your business, maybe you don't want to be part of Unpassive, but at some point you are just like, I just want to pop in there because the people who are there could be potential customers. Is that what it means in other words?
No. Let's say you're a business. Michael mentioned a restaurant, which is a good example. And Red uses this analogy as well. So you've got a shopping mall and there's a food court. So people the restaurants will get footfall that go past. But outside the shopping mall, around the corner, is a curry house, and it doesn't get very much. Now, if you've got if they come into ONPASSIVE and buy traffic, you can specify the area that you're trying to get, your demographics, etc. They're going to get business coming in via that. So any business, if you think about it, if we've got 100 million customers, any business in their right mind would come to us and go, we've got an idea. We want to get traffic for our business. We sell a widget. Yeah. But now I've got 100 million customers that I can aim at using ONPASSIVE's data. Now, we don't sell the data, but it's going to be profitable for that company to consider the numbers of customers that we've got. And as it grows, bearing in mind we've got a potential of now 6 billion odd customers, potential customers, anybody that uses the internet. So at some point we become the driving force for everything, because companies will flock to us just because of the numbers of customers that ONPASSIVE has in their database.
Thank you. So, Anita, I'll just let you come from a little bit.
Okay, gosh, I mean, it is a really, really broad subject, traffic, isn't it? Because there's an awful lot of types of traffic. And the first thing that we always have known is that what Ash wants is for us relevant, targeted traffic. Because it's absolutely no good. Like when Michael talked about, no one coming into your restaurant, it's absolutely no good, bringing vegans into a steak-only restaurant. So that's what we mean by targeted and relevant traffic. Now, Facebook has a way of, when you advertise on there, you can actually pick, what you want, what in the way of age groups and geographical areas and people's interests and stuff like that. So it's breaking it down and going to get more relevant eyeballs on your ad. So for people that don't quite understand what relevant and targeted traffic is, it's going to get people looking at what it is you do, because that's what they're looking for. So as the others have just said, we're going to be a huge database. So for a start off, we've got that way of doing exactly what Facebook do there. But not only through ONET. We've got the fact that there is ONET. We've also got where Ash, in the very beginning, really right in the beginning, where he talked about people being able to come in and perhaps being able to be on a marketplace with other products that they have. Because this wasn't always just to come in and sell just ONPASSIVE products. It was about people coming in and being able to, promote other businesses that they're involved in. And the first customer base they've got is, as others have said, is our own database. So that's where he was talking about a marketplace where we can all kind of do business with one another, whether you're selling a mascara or whatever else it might be. So there's a lot of avenues that traffic can come from. Then of course there's bought-in traffic, like people do with Google. They pay. They pay for the keywords they want, they pay for pay-per-click, or they pay for per 1,000 impressions or whatever. But Ash wants to be the provider of that himself. He's not going to go to Google and buy it in. We're not going to be paying Google through Ash. He's going to be creating that himself. So just like Google will, like Facebook will, so it's going to have a huge way of bringing us traffic not just one way, like Facebook or like Google. It's going to be lots of ways.
Hey, Comfort.
Yes,
Comfort, I want to chime in here and see, Michael, if you can kind of expand on what I think I'm going to bring up here too, because Ash has talked in the past about this, and getting back to we're going to become the traffic kind of a thing. The core of it is, if you think of it like this, he's talked about so many times multiple streams of income. And when we've got, and I like that term 100 million, because I think that's very doable, and I don't think that's out of the question. But if we've got 100 million people and somebody comes to the company and says, hey, we've got this widget that we want you guys, Ash, to market to your 100 million people, Ash then comes to the founders and says, hey, we've got this person willing to pay us some pretty big bucks. We're going to put this widget on anybody's member's website that wants to, and you now are their traffic, but everybody you reach is now the traffic, and we will also pay you a bit of that, a portion of that you're bringing in, because it's in your network now. Is that also part of what we're talking about, Michael?
Yeah, absolutely, Jeffrey. There's so many ways of looking at this. Right, and there's so much that we'll be able to reach with the idea of us becoming the traffic. But I like the part whereby we to be specific to that phrase, that we actually become the traffic. Right, that's more to do with companies coming to us, coming to ONPASSIVE. Yeah. Right. So, for example, when you're watching the Super Bowl or a football game or a TV show, there's ads, there's commercials. Okay. So what do you think these companies are doing? These companies are coming to this particular network and saying, hey, we're trying to sell, McDonald's or whatever. Right. And so they pay, in some cases, millions of dollars for a 30-second commercial. Right. Think of these companies coming out to ONPASSIVE because of when we say database, we're talking about the viewership, the amount of people that are here, real eyeballs. That's us, right? Anyone that's in ONPASSIVE as a customer, as a user, as an affiliate, that's us, right? And so when Jeffrey, again, bring up that number, the 100 million, again, just as an example, folks, it's just an example, right? 100 million that's within, okay, these companies, whether it's McDonald's, whether it's Nike, whether it's Adidas, whomever it is, they're always looking for traffic. McDonald's have been around for how many years now? You still see McDonald's commercial to this very day. Why? Okay, because it's something that is so important, right, to companies. It's their lifeblood. Without it, they will die. Okay, and so you have to have it. So when you have any entity that is massive, you're always going to have these high-profile companies, these giants out there in the industry. They're coming looking because they need to get their products, their service in front of real people. And that's exactly what will happen in ONPASSIVE. These companies will come to us and they will put whatever their ad is, okay, whatever it is they want to display, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, they want to put it in front of real people, that is us. And it will be targeted in the sense that it doesn't have to blanket, like everyone. Like no company wants to waste their advertising dollars, right? Like you said, Anita, they're not trying to, go to a restaurant that's a vegan restaurant and all they sell inside there is steak, right? Like that's not going to happen. That wouldn't make any sense. You're wasting your money, okay? And so, there will be segments off the ONPASSIVE umbrella, if you wish, right? Whereby the database can be segmented so that the right ad is being put to the right individuals so that it's targeted back to the company and they will pay high dollars for it. And to add on to that, we're like a buyer's list, right? We are people who have spent money, and that's who advertisers are looking for. They're not looking for people who are freebies, people just kicking the tires, people not willing to spend money. We, being an ONPASSIVE, would have shown, right, ONPASSIVE customers who are paying for products, okay, you'd have shown that you've spent money. So now it's even more relevant to the companies that are coming forward and spending their advertising dollars within ONPASSIVE. So it's a massive platform. It's a massive idea that is going to have so much traction that just that alone will make OnPassive a giant, just that aspect alone, not to mention everything else that we know that is possible.
Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
I just want us to clear something here right now, because this is a great topic and we don't know who will watch this later on. So after what all you guys have said, I'm just wondering, we know that Ash will do anything but sell data. And I know that traffic is data, or data traffic and stuff like that. So when we're looking at ourselves like potential traffic, does it go back to the vicious cycle, like making fortunes out of data, or how does this work? Just for
yeah,
better understanding.
absolutely not. I mean, I just give a quick example, and by all means, it's not the only way, but just a quick example. Okay, we all have every single person that will be in OnPassive will have an OMail address. Okay, right? So our version of email, right? So an OMail address. So you can have a company that says, yes, I want to, promote, I want to, be presented, whatever it is that I'm offering to the database. It doesn't mean that the company says, hey, here's our data, here, do whatever you want to do with it. Here's our list. No, but they can provide an ad, let's say an email ad as an example, and then the company now do a broadcast, okay? So that way the data, the contact information is secure. The companies are not seeing that, but they will know that here's their email ad that's been delivered. Okay, you can have links inside. So let's say that it's being directed to they want you to go to a particular website to go look at what they have to offer. You can have that link within inside there. Again, OTrim can be used. You can have ad trackers. There's different ways so that the customer, right, in this case, the company that wants to advertise, they will be able to see and can see the traffic without seeing your contact information, but they can see that they got real clicks, real viewers came to their site, etc. So there's ways to track that. We have OTracker, right? There's ways to track that activity so that the companies can see that, no, they did not waste their money. They actually got what they paid for without OnPassive divulging, here's the name and email address and phone number. And, that's not necessary at all. We know companies do that. We know companies sell their database. That's not what OnPassive is doing. OnPassive is part of the correction, right, of the whole corruption idea. So certainly not. It's going to be done in a very ethical and professional way that it's a win-win. The person who's spending the money, the company, they're getting their money's worth because they're getting real targeted traffic, real eyeballs looking at what they have to offer. And OnPassive is maintaining their integrity, etc., by not selling or divulging the contact information. And then we, the users, okay, are also winning because our information is not being put out there. So it's a complete win-win.
A comfort.
Yeah.
If I can just remind everybody that in speaking to that about the data, OnPassive does not even collect data and store it or archive it. It uses only the data that it needs to run the services that we subscribe to and as part or members or of OnPassive. It doesn't grab any extraneous data and do anything with it. So yeah.
All right, thank you. I think that's reassuring enough. I appreciate you all for all of that information. So Michael, I equally heard you say I've been stalking you these days, so never mind. So I hear you say that in order to make money, you must have to make sales. And you were backing this up with the fact that here's the place, because we have products, we have like the marketing department to do their job out there. We are guaranteed. Anita adds a beautiful word to it, a relevant, targeted traffic. However, we are not guaranteed sales. Does everything add up here, Michael?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, if we go back to our restaurant, okay, and so you've done your advertising, okay, you put the word out there. Yes, I've got this great restaurant. Come on in, and you get 100 people coming into your restaurant. Okay, so hey, mission accomplished. Here are these people coming into your restaurant. Hey, we're here for food, okay? Because they're targeted. They're looking for food. But they come inside there, though, there is no guarantee that they're going to actually buy when they come inside your restaurant, okay? The fact that they're inside, obviously, it's a greater probability that you'll make a sale. So, right? If no one came in, well, the problem, that's zero, right? There's no chance. You have to have people come in. Now people come in, okay? Now, what are you serving? What are you offering? Okay. So if you have food inside there, because you have 100 people coming in, there's a greater chance of somebody buying something from that restaurant versus you only had 5 people that came in. 5 people may come in and look and say, no, it's not what I was thinking of. So, and then they leave, right? So the more people I have coming in, right? And so that goes back to, in our case, the more visitors that you get coming, because again, we're talking about targeted visitors. We're not talking about run of the mill. We're not talking about just anyone. We're talking about targeted people coming, looking at what Unpassive has to offer. The more people you get coming, okay, is the greater the chance of you making a sale. So while it's not guaranteed, but we can assure, there's some assurance based upon the numbers, based upon the traffic that will come, and that's what we can stand on. But certainly no business can guarantee a sale. You just can't. You can increase the chance, you can increase the probability of success, but you can't guarantee it as far as someone coming in and spending money and buying. Also, the fact that we have multiple products, that also increases the chance of somebody buying. Because let's take, I'll just say it, Zoom, for example. They only have one product, okay? So somebody comes to Zoom and they're looking and says, oh, but I don't want to have a webinar platform. I was looking for something else. I was looking for an autoresponder or something, right? Guess what? You've lost that sale because you only have the one product. Someone comes to Unpassive and says, well, no, I'm not looking for a webinar platform. Okay, no problem. How about this? Maybe they want OTracker. Oh, I'm not looking for, okay, how about this? Maybe they want ODomain. They want a domain name, right? Okay, and the list goes on and on. The fact that you have so many, just like a grocery store, right? If you have a store and you just have one item inside there, as opposed to have a grocery store and have a whole bunch of stuff, people come get their fruits, their vegetables, right? Meats, all of that. Okay, somebody walking into that store, they're going to come out with something. They're going to buy something because there's so much to choose from, right? And so that's what Unpassive is. So yes, we cannot guarantee it, but certainly there's a great probability that people will buy at least one thing, Comfort.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael. Anita, do you have a comment to make on that before we move on, please?
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing is, right, and Ash always had this plan from day one, really, well, from very early on. I mean, the thing is, you can have an all singing and dancing website, but if you haven't got traffic, it's absolutely of no use to man or beast, okay? So when he says, right, the first thing is you're going to need a domain because you can't have a website without a domain. So you've got your domain, you've got your website. Then you're going to load that with products. And then you're going to need the traffic. And he's always been about the traffic, about getting the traffic to that website. Because like I said, it's no use to you. You can have all these wonderful AI products. And this is what a lot of businesses do. They will provide somebody with a great website. And then they go, there you go, get on with it. Now go and promote that website. Now go and find your customers, get your customers to there. And those people are like, I don't know what to do. How do I get people to this website? They don't understand how to do Google Ads. They don't understand about just getting eyeballs on their website. So that is what he needs to do. Then, of course, they are going to then land on there. And like Michael said, the more products you put on there, the higher the conversion rate is going to be of the visitors into sales. Okay, so then there's going to be the sales. Then obviously the company can pay commissions, and of course there's the aftercare, and that's all going to be done from support. So it all has to fall into place, and he's got all them components to build and put together. Okay, and without traffic, you've got nothing, because you're still left with trying to send people to your website to buy your products. So it's the key. It is the key. But of course, going in order, domain, website, products on website, traffic. That's where we're at. That's where he's getting all those ready for us. And when they are, you're in a better position than you could be anywhere, because as I say, there aren't any businesses out there I know that will provide you a website and send the traffic to it. There's just not. And that is a product. The traffic packages is a product that we need to partake in, you know, because it's not free. But obviously there's the other traffic that everyone knows about, which is the pool that we have at the moment, but we're not talking about that tonight. But you know, that's how it works. So for anyone who's a little bit kind of lost about how it works, that's how it works. Okay, you need your domain, you need your website, you need your products on it, and you need your traffic. The more products you've got on there, okay, on that website, the more you can earn from, then the higher your conversion of that traffic is going to be into sales, the more commission you make. That's it.
Wow, thank you. So, Andy, I think I'm going to mute. All right, thank you, Anita. So earlier on, Andy, like I said, I was after Michael Williams for some reason. So there's this thing he said, like, don't forget to feed your business, like when you get the sales and stuff. And then he further explains that when some people go out there, they make a few dollars, they starve their business to death because they want to use the money in doing one or two things. And Andy, you came to mind. I was wondering, like, would this mean the same thing when Andy says he was going to plow back? Is that the same thing, Andy?
Sort of comfort. I mean, some of us have been lucky enough to have a number of customers that have already activated their accounts. So we have a commission in the account. Personally, I'm not going to take that out, because what I want to do is to be able to use that to purchase as many products as ONPASSIVE brings out for all of the accounts that I have. So in order to do that, I'm going to need the cash. So it's a kind of a case of plowing back. Now, I also said about plowing back when we have the opportunity to buy traffic, but that's a long way away yet. As Anita said, we have to have our ducks in a row before we can get to that stage. So at the moment, the focus is to make sure that every time ONPASSIVE releases a product, that we're in a position to be able to pay for that product in our ecosystem in order to have that additional income stream, and the next additional income stream, and the next, and so on. Because the more, as Michael said, the more income streams you've got in your business, the more opportunity you've got to make a sale.
Yeah, and if I can chime in,
Sure.
Comfort. Yeah, just to add on to what you're speaking of. Yes, you when you have a business and you're making money in your business, you don't want to take that money and all you do is go spend it on things that's not relevant to your business. You also want to put back, right, which is what part of what Andy is saying, is putting back into his business. He's using some of the commissions from his business to be able to purchase other products, which is going to springboard him into even more commissions and so on. So certainly you want to be able to take a portion, right? We're not saying to put everything back into your business. That wouldn't make any sense either, right? Because you're in business to make money to do what? Pay your bills and so on and so forth, right? So you certainly want to take a portion of that and put back into your business to help your business grow, right? So that could be buying more traffic, okay? It could be, paying for products and tools and so on, right? So yeah, you certainly want to do that. That just makes good business sense. Every successful business that I'm aware of, they do exactly that, right? You have to be able to put back in, and that also springboards you to the next income level if you wish. So it's a smart move on anyone's part to do just that.
All right. So Jeffrey, I think a lot has been said while you were silent. Do you want to comment, please?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm loving this because this is not my forte. Michael obviously is a seasoned, very successful marketer, as are Anita and Andy, very knowledgeable in this. But I like that he uses a menu, and I just want to point out that it's not just looking at the digital products in the ONPASSIVE ecosystem. I mean, we've got technologies and inventions that are coming out of the innovation labs. That's going to up our chances of making sales, right? We're engaging influencers with these strategic partnerships. Again, More visibility increases our opportunity for sales. Services that are going to be coming out of the data centers. You see where I'm going with this, right? We got new sector business model Ash talked about the other day. We got physical products coming out, right? Things that AIO Media is working on. I mean, all of these things boost the opportunity for us to get sales. So that's why we're going to be so massive.
Thank you so much. Since we are on the topic traffic, and we are hoping that as soon as possible, maybe we start getting traffic allocated to us. Michael Williams, people have been battling with this. So I just want to know, to the best of your opinion, who do you think is eligible or qualified for the unpassive traffic? Is it the founders, the new affiliates, or who? And
Really? Really?
What am I doing?
Okay, so if we're referring to the first set of traffic or the first set of allocation of customers, that is geared towards those who are early bird, right? Early bird founders, okay? Those who came in, in the early stages before we actually opened the door to the public, okay? So those individuals, which, I think 1.4 million or so account holders, certainly them, right? The ones who have activated their accounts by, purchasing the first paid product that we have, which is OConnect, right? Those individuals, that's the priority. The priority is given to them because, if you activate your business, that's you're sending a message to the company that I'm in it to win it. I'm here. I'm serious about my business. I'm going to do what it takes to make sure that I'm positioned myself to win. Okay. If you're in a business and you're not engaged and you don't activate, you're just sitting on, well, then why should I waste my resource as a company? Why should I waste my resource to say, well, here you go, here you go, here you go. You have to put some skin in the game, so to speak, right? Everyone's told about this business that, yes, you get in, you pay this to get in, that gets you in the door, but also be prepared to activate your business. So this is not something that is, a sleight of hand or all of a sudden the company's saying you have to do none of that. All of this was made clear from the very beginning that this is how the business is going to proceed as far as what we have to do from a financial standpoint, right? So we know that was coming. So, I just had this conversation with someone today, Comfort, about just that. They wanted me to say, what can be done for these people? And I'm saying, listen, we were all told, every single one of us, when you're coming in, so it's not like you came in and then you found this out. No, before you even, spent $1, like you knew exactly what's going to happen. So people had more than enough time to save and, and all these things, put it together. So, what, let me just put this down because I know I'm going to need this. This is how a business works, folks, right? You don't start a business for free and don't do anything at all. And somehow poof, money is being made. It just doesn't work that way, right? Not in a real business anyways. I know there's some things out there, but we're talking about real business with real people, real products, etc. That's what we're talking about. And that's what ONPASSIVE is. So certainly those who position themselves, right, which is something they should do anyways, right, because you need to activate. You need to say, yes, I'm open for business. Okay. What's the point of having a whole bunch of commissions inside your wallet, Comfort, if you can't withdraw it, if you can't spend it? Like, what's the point? It makes no sense to me. That's just fictitious money as far as I'm concerned. I want to be in a position when these commissions are coming in, guess what? I can withdraw it and go, pay my bills and do what I need to do and live life. Okay. So certainly, that's who it's geared towards, the first set. Okay. Because the company is going above and beyond to reward us for coming along for the journey. We didn't have to. We could have said, get back to me whenever you guys are open to the public. I'll come in at that point. I'll become a customer. But we who jumped in when there was nothing, we who jumped in, before we had a paid product, we who jumped in before any free products were available and so on, right? So the company says, yes, one of the ways that we'll reward you, right? Is this allocation of customers, okay? And so we don't want it to be just like how we talk about targeted traffic, and it's just not, anyone, you want it to be targeted, you want it to be relevant. It's the same way the company is saying, okay, we want to allocate these customers, but we don't want to just allocate it to any and everyone. Not like that. We want to make sure that these people are serious about their financial future. And so therefore, this is a simple requirement, and that everyone, and I mean everyone, I don't care where you are, I don't care your background, your financial situation, none of that matters. Everyone is in a position that they can afford to activate their account. It's a matter of choice. Some people choose to, some people don't. No one is to be pressured or anything like that. It's a choice. Make the right choice and you will win because of that.
Thank you, Michael. So Andy, we're just taking the last round now. So just to say as much as you want to, you have to say, because when we come back to Michael, it will be the final say. Andy, please.
I think we've been on this journey, as Michael said, and for us, certainly the early birds, and for me, it's been an exciting journey. It's been one where it's given us the opportunity to learn about what's going on, how things work. I personally, I'm not technically minded, but I've learned a hell of a lot along the way, and I've really enjoyed being part of that journey. Now we're getting to the really exciting bit where you go, okay, now it's the numbers time. Because if you think about it, if at the end of this first year we do have 100 million customers, how many customers do you guys want? The object of the exercise here is to share like we do with the webinars and everything else. And the thing is, if you've got superior products, everybody has contact lists. Everybody. There's not a single person in ONPASSIVE that doesn't know at least 100 people. That's an impossibility. So you've got 100 people that you can share it with. A superior product, far cheaper than, or more cost effective, I should say, rather than cheaper. More cost effective than its nearest closest rival and all of the others put together. So, and that's just the first product. By the end of the year, we could have 20 products, 30 products, I don't know. But this single sign-on scenario allows all of these different income sources for us. So, in my opinion, the first thing I'm going to do is to make sure that my account has every single paid product in my shop to be able to offer. And that, for me, is the key, because that's how I'm going to be able to build my business. Thank you, Comfort.
All right, thank you. Over to you, Anita.
Okay, look, I saw somebody, I don't know who now, but somebody asked a question a little while ago, right? Saying, do they now have to work harder to make sales, right? They're getting confused. I don't know if you saw that question, but anyway, it popped up. And the answer to that is no, of course not, because everything has been done to be made easy, okay, for people to be in this business. It's been made easy. So, of course, when we've spoken about domain and website and products and traffic, coming to that, and then those people being, converting into sales, that's the side of it that's all being done, okay. But you can go out and you can, obviously bring other traffic to your own business yourself, whether it's on word of mouth, whether it's on Facebook or wherever it is, right? Because it's just getting more traffic to your business. Okay, now if you go out and you recommend, let's go back to the restaurant again. If you go out and have a meal and you had a really nice meal, you go and tell somebody, oh God, I've just been to that new restaurant, it's great. Okay, you want to go and try that. But they don't pay you, do they? So all we're saying is talk to people, get them to have a look at your website, because it's going to be in our own name. We're going to be the star of the show, as the heroes, as Ash puts it. So you're going to have your own website to just direct them to joeblogs.com, whatever your name is. Just have a look. It's really worth you having a look. Now, that's not hard. Try sitting selling timeshare with a video and a brochure off-site in an office. That's hard. Okay, I've done that. I did that for years, and that's hard work. And so this has been made so simple that you can either be involved and bring more traffic to your site yourself if you wish. If you don't, you don't. No one's saying you have to do that. But you've got to remember that this is a business. We do have a charity, but the business side of it isn't a charity. You do have to fund your business. You have to invest into yourself and your own business with the products, which includes the domain, the website, and the products and the traffic. Okay, so that hopefully that answered that question to the person who thought they've got to go out and start trying to sell everything. Not everyone in this is going to be able to do that, because not everyone's a salesperson. Not everyone knows where to start. They're not going to start. They don't understand kind of online marketing. And it was nice what Jeffrey said earlier, but I mean, I do know a lot about it, but I wasn't a successful online marketer. There's only a small percentage of people are very good at that, and that is exactly why Ash has created ONPASSIVE, because it's not for the gurus who know what they're doing. It's for the people that don't know. He's making it easy for those people to have an amazing business and to be able to earn an income in the easiest possible way. But people do have to put a little bit of input in. Like, if you haven't bought OConnect yet, you're not even going to make a start. Okay, I'll leave it on that.
Thank you. Thanks so much. So, Jeffrey, over to you, please.
You're muted, Jeffrey. You're muted, Jeffrey.
I've just
There you
unmuted
go.
you now.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm glad you can hear me. I want to go back and kind of close the loop on allocation, because you had asked about, what the priorities were in a way for allocating. And I mean, Michael said pretty clearly, that obviously the charter members are a priority. But, Michael, he also mentioned, not Michael, but Ash the other day mentioned too that there was a second group in there that was going to be those that have subscribed, and the third group in there were going to be those that didn't have a network yet. And so in this way, it's kind of like he wasn't going to leave anybody behind, which I'm all for, and I love it. But Michael also talked about positioning, and in moving forward, we'd probably do well to keep that in mind. And the way that we do that is by checking in often and getting engaged, because that's going to allow us to catch each opportunity as it comes in, each opportunity that ONPASSIVE is bringing to us. And this is the kind of investing in yourself that Anita was just talking about. So, we're in good shape, very good shape. Ash isn't leaving anybody behind. You've got the charter members, you've got those that have subscribed, and you got the affiliates or the members that don't have anybody yet that he's focusing on. And I think it's beautiful. So thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So, Michael, there's something Andy mentioned to earlier. I think Anita added to that while waiting and stuff, you could go ahead and share and stuff like that. So, but then many people think that, I can't share either because I don't know who to share to. Some people don't know anybody at all. They don't know where to start from. So, however, everybody wants to get a bit more in addition to what Ash is going to deliver to us. So I just wanted to know, like many others would, are the new affiliates also going to be able to buy traffic when it's ready?
Yeah.
So you're concluding now. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Comfort. Traffic will be available to everyone and anyone, and not just those who are affiliates or users or even customers. It's everyone, right? So you can have, as we mentioned, you can have an exterior, someone on the outside who wants traffic for their particular business, etc. They create an OMail account, which is a free account, and then they have access to everything that's inside the ecosystem. Okay, so it really is that simple. But I want to finish off on traffic itself, right? We know, and the company knows, that the majority of people, right, and everyone should know this, that the majority of people cannot sell, right? Like that's factual. Like no one can refute that, right? Anita mentioned about selling timeshares. Gosh, that's a really good example. People just can't sell, folks. You're a lawyer. You know to do, lawyer stuff. You know what I mean? You're an accountant, to do accounting stuff. You know what I mean? You're a nurse, etc. Right? People can't sell, right? That's why there's always, if you need a job, you can always find a sales job. It's there. Trust me, it is there. You can always find a job for you to sell. Now, will you be good at it? That's a different story. Most people are not good at it. Pick any company, right? You go to a car dealership, right? And maybe this person sold you a vehicle. Okay, come back even 6 months later, that person probably won't even be there anymore, right? They've moved on to something else because they weren't good at it. Because if they were good at it, they'll be there year after year after year. Okay, just doesn't work that way, and we can go on and on with a whole bunch of examples when it comes to selling. People selling life insurance, right? They may last 1 or 2 years and then off doing something else because they weren't good at it, right? And so on. So we know that. The company knows that. That's why so many people came into ONPASSIVE, because they can't sell. And if you have products, you have to be able to sell the products. How else will you make the money if you don't sell the products? Okay. So the company has put together a model whereby it doesn't matter whether you can sell or not. Okay, whether you can sell or not. It is possible to use technology, to use software, because sales is a process, right? It's not just boom, a single event. It's a process. Sometimes I may have to, show you what I have to offer, right? I have to find a way to capture your information so that way I can follow up with you automatically, right? I have to be able to do that over time, not just one time, not just hit and miss. You come to my site one time and that's it. You never come back again. I have to be able to have a way that I can automate that so that, I can follow up with you a week from now, a month from now, and so on and so forth. All that is important. It's all part of the process, okay? Because a lot of people, it takes multiple exposure before they buy. And everyone, can participate in this. You walk into a store. Do you always buy that first store that you walk into? Right? Sometimes people are shopping. They go the entire day and even buy nothing. Maybe some food to eat, and that's about it. Right? And then they go back home, and another time they go back out and they shop. You're trying to buy a home. The first home you walk into, you buy it, right? So it's about exposure. And so the company understands the sales process, right? They understand marketing. They know what works and what doesn't work, because it's not just, well, I bought some ads. Okay. How do you know the ads that you bought? How do you know it's good traffic? How do you know it's real eyeballs? How do you know it's not some, robotic venture that you got yourself into where you see, oh, I got a whole bunch of clicks, but they're not real. It's just automated clicks, right? Like there's so much that go into it, folks. Because if everyone understood it, everyone knew how it all works, then all of us would be winning at whatever business we join. That's just not the case. Okay. So the bottom line is the company knows exactly what they're doing. They know how the process works, and they put it together for all of us. So regardless of your background, whether you're tech savvy, whether you can sell or not, it doesn't matter. The company's laid it out nice and simple for everyone to be able to participate and to be able to experience the success. Now, when we're talking about sharing, we're talking about the level of success that you want to experience. Okay. All of us are going to win, but doesn't mean that we're all going to win at the same amount. Doesn't mean that I'm going to make the same income that Comfort's going to make, that Andy's. It doesn't mean that, folks. Okay. So there are things that we can do to speed up the process of making sales. There's things that we can do, right? That's going to get us as much success as we want. Okay, such as, okay, the more traffic I buy, right? So all of a sudden on passive, the entire system is ready. You got your domain name, you got your website all set up, right? You got your content on your website. Now you can buy targeted traffic. Okay, but if somebody goes and buy, let's just say 100 visitors versus someone who buys 1,000 visitors, the person who bought 1,000 visitors, not guaranteed, but they have a greater chance. It's a greater probability. Okay, that's what we're talking about. That's how people can get to their, whatever destination they're looking for, can get there faster, can get, more of it, etc. Just things that we can do. And it does not necessarily mean that I have to run out there and share with my family and friends. And it doesn't necessarily mean that, folks. But if you have the ability to do that, why not? Because that's what traffic is all about. Traffic is about exposing your business to everyone, everywhere. Because sometimes you may misjudge. Sometimes you may look at someone and says, oh, no, they wouldn't be interested in my business. But how do you really know that, though, unless you put it in front of them? So me personally, I like to put my business in front of everyone and let them choose for themselves, because I do it in such a professional way that I don't need to be, chasing anyone. I don't need to be explaining it. You can automate all this stuff, folks. And that's what ONPASSIVE is doing for all of us. Automating the process so that we can win. Win, win, win. It's a done deal.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you, Jeffrey, Anita, and Andy, as usual. Really appreciate you. And of course, thanks, Steve, for the great comments. I think this is what makes the whole. I just encourage everyone to share if we find this really important. And of course, subscribe and click on the bell, because we like doing this like every day. So thank you, guys, and see you again really soon. And of course, I appreciate you all, guys. I feel very special today. I've just been in a celebrations mode, and you just make me feel very, very special. My birthday is tomorrow, but I already feel like it's, so thank you. Thanks for the love and everything. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Bye.